Welcome to this week's episode of the Ballinesian podcast here on the Polytickin network. Thank you so much for tuning in here. Appreciate you guys listening. Samoans talking sports. Charger and a Raider fan going to be breaking down what Vegas and LA got into this week. Whooped!
We're gonna have to change the show to welcome to the podcast where our two teams suck.
We're going to talk about Marcus Mariota, Tua Tagovailoa, the first time Samoan quarterbacks have faced off against each other in the NFL. Also, a crazy sport is debuting stateside and probably coming to a city near you, especially these West Coast listeners that are tuning in. Again, we are here on the Polytickin Network. Make sure to check out the flagship show, Polytickin Podcast, with Sefa M. Oh, hello, Marcus. As well as the Polytickin Patreon, patreon.com/the Polytickin podcast, where we talk about just more in-depth stuff. $5 or more a month to the Patreon gets you a new exclusive episode every week, where we talk about your comments, current events, anything that's coming up or that is being discussed in the community, your family,
my family,
your life,
right?
Yeah.
Your dog, anything.
You can hear about all the stuff that happens. That's where we kind of talk about, how our days and stuff are going and stuff that we're learning.
Also,
this week,
you can hear about hip hop and learn stuff like
bro,
what freestyle is, because I know a lot of people didn't know that freestyling isn't just
bro, Sefa called thousands of people casual fans of hip hop for thinking that freestyle means freestyle.
Yeah, like you just spit. And no, because I mean,
I have a bone to pick with that. Freestyle, that's exactly what I want to say 90% of people think. I will, okay, if that makes me a casual fan, then yeah, of course. And I know that I am a casual fan of music, so yeah, that fits the mold. No. But when you say freestyle, I think anyone who's heard the way, hey, you're going to freestyle rap, thinks it's off the top, thinks it's like, oh, he's making that up as he goes. Not necessarily what Seth was like. It's a freestyle. It's free of any style that was predisposed to what you thought was going to happen. I was like, And I think people thought freestyle meant, off the top. So,
well, also, I hope that
you learn stuff.
Right. And that's what we were trying to get at. Not trying to throw shade to nobody who's a casual fan, like we are, but but that's dope. Like I didn't know this, so and then it kind of makes sense because then you see guys going to like ciphers and they're thinking about it and they kind of start spitting it. But what they're really trying to do now that you think about it is they're just trying to remember the lyrics that go with that beat, something that they already had freestyling off that beat, which makes sense. But also for folks like me and Nice who didn't know that like off the dome and freestyling were two different things. Now you know, and that's what you can get on the Patreon for $5 extra bucks.
Okay, but aside from that, is that what it means? If most people think it means something else,
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's what the culture means, then that's what it means. And if we thought it meant something else, that's our fault because we should be. I think we should like if you think you're part of hip hop. But also, yeah, maybe not a lot of people explained it that way. So, like, I can't blame people for not knowing that's what it meant.
You thought that it meant
I did.
It's okay to. Oh, what? I thought it was.
No, I thought like what you thought. That's why I said I thought.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because if you tell somebody, hey, why don't you freestyle real quick?
For sure. Yeah. Like,
oh shit. Okay. Yeah, we're going off the top. I'm gonna try to do some rebuttals, listen to some stuff, make it rhyme.
Right. So, like I said, like it makes total sense now because then, like when like the people who think that freestyling is like off the dome, and you tell people to freestyle, and then they get hella stuck, and you're just like, oh, that's not good.
That's not good.
No, you can't freestyle.
It's hard. Off the top, it's hard. Yeah, even delivering a verse that you've practiced is difficult. Yeah, it's difficult. Yes, right. Oh, there's people here. Go ahead and multiply the difficulty.
Especially off a beat that you didn't like.
Oh yeah. And if it's a new beat, yeah.
So I get like what Seppo was saying makes total sense, man. Like the freestyling song.
And there was something that I thought, because whenever I'm on the Patreon and these two start talking about hip hop and like hip hop artists and referencing albums and lines, I'm just like, cool. And I love like hearing people talk about what they're passionate about, what they know about, stuff like that. So when I'm on the Patreon and they start talking about music, I will get lost in just the conversation and like hearing them get hyped up about it. But I will also get quiet because that's not my area. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
I don't know the history as well. I don't know
right.
the relations between certain rappers and how that affected their music and stuff. But these when these guys talk about it, it's already based off of like knowledge that they know, and it's like another level of talking, which it usually is for Seth and Marcus. They've
For
been
sure.
friends
And
for a long time.
I'd expect
But
that from both of them because like not just because they're they make the music and stuff like that, but you know, the way they talk about it, you can tell like it was something they followed from. It was something they were super interested in, like in the
they know the history, yeah, yeah,
right,
and
like
they've also followed it closely and
yeah,
kept
yeah,
updated. But I was thinking, uh, I would get that imposter syndrome, or just feel like I'm not, good enough to be a part of this. Instead of just shutting down and being quiet and kind of nodding along, so that my friends don't think, "Oh, look at this loser, he doesn't even know what we're talking about." To speak up and be like, "Hey, I actually have no idea what you guys are talking about. Can you explain it to me a little bit more?" Because I'm sure there's listeners too that are like
no, for sure,
still music lovers but might not know. So just trying to be that part of the conversation
yeah,
for more context or stuff like that. But yeah, the Patreon. Marcus talked about Near Mint Sundays, where he's getting even more comics and like different collections for people. He also parlayed that into like a perfectly timed second location comic buy recently. So we talked about that. We talked about family photos. Oh, what do we got here? What is this artwork? You got Absolute Wonder Woman. She's carrying Cloud Sword from Final Fantasy VII. What is it? The All In?
she's so the storyline behind this one is that her and Cersei are not from the island, they're actually from hell, from the
Oh, right.
so yeah, we're talking about that, so it's super dope.
Nice.
uh got that, and then I picked this up. So totally different, like
Venomverse.
versus the Spider Verse. So
Let's
super dope,
go. See
super
that,
dope.
man. Yeah. So you love it too. Just hearing Marcus talk about like going into a big, like kind of Comic Con, not a Comic Con
Oh man,
situation, but something
no,
like a
yeah,
vendor. What is
a
that
convention,
called?
convention.
Not yeah, but not a convention. When you have a bunch of like
Oh, a
an event
panel,
or
a
something,
panel.
when people like are selling a bunch of cards, like a card show, but
Oh
a
yeah, yeah,
smaller
yeah.
one. He has a local one that's like a little bit smaller, but I mean, I get so
Trade show.
interested
Sorry,
hearing
trade
about.
show.
Oh, a trade show. Okay, yeah, yeah. I'm very interested to hear about not only what is happening there, what did you transact, what did you give, what did you get, what did you want to, but also, bro, what's the feeling going in there? Like, what are you excited
For sure.
about? What is
Yeah.
what are the thoughts going through your mind as you're preparing to kind of attack this big convention or something?
Hey, if
That's
you wanna
exciting, man.
you
I
wanna
think it
try
is.
it right now, like on a kind of like a smaller level, but a big commercial level. GameStop right now is kind of transitioning into the hobby space of retail.
Mm.
So like they just had a partnership with PSA, so you can go to GameStop and turn your cards in. They'll send it to PSA, do all the groundwork for you, package it nicely. Obviously, you still have to pay, but you get all that with instead of having to do it yourself. They do that for PSA now. Partnership with PSA. They have a new thing on the website now. You can buy like kind of like a mystery bag of like a graded card, whether it's
Mm.
sports, Pokemon, uh, Dragon Balls. It doesn't matter. Any trading card, you can buy um, a graded card in a mystery bag for like it ranges from 25, 50, 100, 500, 1,000, and then you get back like I want to say they say like 75% of what you pay, or again like 150% of what you paid. Those are the scale of what you can give back with depending on what you paid. They do that now, but I don't have the date. I'll look it up. I'll have it for you guys probably on the next show. But GameStop will be doing their first trade night sometime soon. They have stipulations of what you can trade, but pretty much anything. The slogan is, yeah, we have a trade show. Come in, bring whatever you have, what you want to trade.
Oh,
We can
damn.
even do taxidermy. So
So
I'm gonna,
every GameStop on the same day is going to have like a
yep,
Pokemon or card trading event
a trade show. Yeah. So
soon. Okay.
yeah, bringing
Yeah, we
stuff
can
that
look that up.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
But
yo,
anyway,
yo. Yeah, so definitely get to the Patreon, patreon.com/slash the Polytickin podcast. Bunch of stuff that we're talking about. You can follow along there. Also, it supports us directly, so that's a big help. Also, shout out to Levasa Island Apparel, Brother E. Rye, out
yep,
there, Modesto, California. www.levasaislandapparel.com or check him out on Instagram, le_vasa.
man, he's always working, man, always working.
Yeah, yeah. The busy beaver. Uh yeah, definitely check out the Levasa brand, hoodies. This is definitely the time to get that warm, that like I guess cold weather gear. Get those hoodies, the sweaters. Check them out. All right, man, it's almost Thanksgiving. It's starting to get cold. The weather is turning. Football is already halfway through the season, and
We
now we're
should
getting into like the dark coldness time. Yeah, yeah.
What do you mean getting into? For my team, it's been dark since August.
uh yeah, so we're getting through the season. The Chargers had a big loss this week. The Raiders played the Cowboys on Monday Night Football. But the first game on Sunday, I think, was the biggest game for us. The Miami Dolphins and the Washington Commanders met in Madrid, Spain. I'm not sure if it was Madrid, but they played an international game in Spain, one of those 6:30 in the morning West Coast times. And this is particularly important to us in that it is the first time that Samoan quarterbacks played against each other in the NFL. Maybe not played against each other, but started like a game
Right,
against each other,
started.
played a
Yeah.
whole game against each other. Uh, what is that? Does that like pump you up at all, or is this kind of like a
Yeah.
throwaway game between teams that aren't
No.
competing?
Yeah. I mean, if you're thinking about like record wise, of course, and if you're cheering for either team, you're kind of just like, well, kind of both teams are kind of in a rut right now. Not the best of seasons for them, but if, of course, you're of Pacific descent, Samoan, Tongan, Marian, Fijian, anything,
Mm-hmm.
Melanesian, Polynesian. Uh, it was big because for a long time, not too many people thought of um, Pacifica people playing skill positions. It was kind of
Mm-hmm.
like, well, man, some of the best linemen in the game, And then you
Yeah.
had guys come out like Junior Seau, who is amazing because if you think about Junior Seau when he was coming out, he only played really one season and then got drafted early in the first round when he came up because he got hurt one year. Then something happened like the next year, like I don't know if it was school wise. Then he played his junior year and came out. And then everybody's like, oh shit, linebackers too, even though they had already Mose Tatupu in the league, who was an amazing kick returner, running back for the Patriots. You also already had Jack Thompson, who played for the Cincinnati Bengals. And even though they didn't play against each other, these two quarterbacks were on the same team as Samoa. Samoa would back up Jack Thompson for the
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati Bengals, who, by the way, is Lance's uncle. Uh, growing up, he was my uncle too. So he's a lot of our uncles. He's got the paddle to prove it. Anyway, uh, love that guy. Uh, yeah, so like, but then so Mariota and Tua Tagovailoa are probably the bigger names, like especially now,
Mm-hmm.
Tua and both of them being Heisman Trophy winners. The high man.
Oh.
Yeah, see, that's crazy, right? To think two Samoan quarterbacks or just Polynesian quarterbacks were Heisman Trophy winners in college. Um, Both have championships in college, led their teams to a championship. And then came into the league, both first round high draft picks. Uh, Two different careers right now, like, and not bad careers, just the trajectory that we thought both, well, at least Mariota was going to have. Did it took a kind of a plateau, not really a downfall, but a plateau. And now he's starting again, even though it's because Jaden Daniels hurt. It's great to see him starting. I think he can still be a starting quarterback somewhere, and to see those two guys play
Mm.
against each other. But people forget guys like Sal Onese, who was Oakland Salavia's best friend in Colorado. He was a quarterback for Colorado. He got hurt, spinal injury, couldn't play anymore. You had guys like from your neck of the woods in Carson, George Malaulu, who's still doing great things in the community of sports, mostly like baseball right now, I think. But he's the first quarterback I've seen in a bowl game 1 year throw like I want to say it was like a 65 yarder with his right hand, and then the following season throw a 75 yarder with his left hand. Ambidextrous quarterback in Arizona, probably man. And then guys like Marcus Yusufoko, who ended up playing for the Raiders. So if you think about all of that, and then to have these two guys play against each other,
Hmm.
and super big for us. And it wasn't only them that was on the field. They took the biggest part of that story because we'd never seen two Polynesian quarterbacks play against each other, start the whole and play the whole game. But we had Frankie on the other side playing for Washington as well. You have Jonas Avainaya playing for the Dolphins
Hmm.
also
Hmm.
on the other side. So this the field was probably filled with the other Polynesians that we don't know besides those four guys. So to have that many guys like on the field right now, um, that's amazing, in itself. So there was a lot of significance for us as a people in the game, I think.
It just sucked that it was such like an early game and most
Yeah,
people didn't
I
get to
wasn't up
see
for it.
it.
I wasn't up for it at all.
And it's
Yeah,
also, like you said, not, Mariota's first team. He
right.
drafted second overall to the Titans. Freaking Tua drafted sixth overall in 2020 to the
Crazy.
Dolphins. Is it, this one was to see who could get to 4-7 between these two teams. They
Right.
both came in 3-7, so their teams aren't doing great, but dope to see two Samoans. And I was like, man, I wonder if this has ever happened before. And it didn't take long to find out that not only have quarterbacks, not played against each other, but there's so few that have made it to the NFL.
Yep.
And even as a backup or ending up being a backup, there hasn't been a lot of opportunities, even if there have been, multiple Samoan quarterbacks or Pacific Islander quarterbacks, they haven't been like peaking at the same time. And even this situation, both of these guys look to be on the back end, right? Tua
Yeah.
Tagovailoa just signed a huge contract, but it hasn't been going great in the last couple of years. Marcus, uh, like a veteran backup, trying to stay in the league and be a starter, but
Yep.
it's like yeah, very few opportunities for the paths to cross like this.
I
So
mean, if you
it's
think about
it's
Tua,
awesome that we got this, but then I also think about like how black quarterbacks used to be seen as
not
not
common,
being,
right?
huh?
Not common in the league. See, viewed
Right.
as
They're like, oh, that's a wide receiver. That's not a
yeah,
quarterback. A quarterback is a cerebral position, like, racist
they're
stuff
not
like that.
smart. Yeah.
Like, Samoans aren't smart enough to be quarterbacks, to be great quarterbacks. It's like, these guys are just like the initial torch bearers, but there are more and more and more that are coming. Like,
Yeah,
and
names
it
will
went
come down.
from, oh, they're great defensive linemen. Oh, they're great offensive linemen. Oh, they're great linebackers. Oh, there's some good running backs. Oh,
Yep.
there's a
Safety.
all world safety. We might not get to cornerbacks this,
Your
century.
legs
It
are too
might
heavy.
take that may take a couple more generations of evolution to get a Samoan DB into the
But
NFL,
we
but
got receivers. We got
we
receivers.
got receivers. these,
Yeah.
and and the quarterback is always going to be that prime, captain
Yeah.
position. Um, so to see guys like, man, I thought Marcus Tuiasosopo was a lot more active, definitely out of Washington. But I just growing up, I was like, oh yeah, he started for the Raiders for a long time, and it was like, oh, he
I
played
think
13
he had
games.
like, yeah, right. I was
He
about to
had two
say,
touchdowns,
yeah,
which is
they didn't
cool.
want him
I
to play
mean,
after.
but it's definitely kind of starting to see that needle move where it's like, oh, there's no way there's going to be a Samoan quarterback. So, okay, there's a Samoan quarterback. Oh, there's a second overall Samoan quarterback. There's someone
Yeah.
that good, a Heisman Trophy winner. I don't think Tua won a Heisman. I think he won like a quarterback. I don't know.
I'm
Uh,
pretty sure.
but
Well,
seeing
he
these guys,
deserved one.
for sure. I think he broke his hip his junior year, so it was like either his freshman year or his sophomore year.
Yeah.
That might have been good enough. But yeah, seeing them move the needle where it's becoming less impossible, it's becoming more likely, more acceptable, more normal for Samoans or Pacific Islanders to be good to great quarterbacks. I think is a great thing. And it's also awesome to see them dap up, and talk after the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just like, oh, see, man, yeah, brotherhood. So that was dope. Uh,
You want to rip the band-aid off the wound and just talk about our crappy teams?
I was gonna open some Pokemon card packs. Just
Let's
like,
do it.
no,
Let's do
no,
it.
no, wait. Steph was like,
Let's
no
do it.
one's gonna buy those loose packs from you. You might as well just rip those open. I'm like, no, no, I don't want to know what it's like to hit a two
Yes, you
hundred
do.
dollar card
Yes, you do.
off a single pack because then I won't stop.
Oh man.
These are college investments, okay? This is not gamble. It's not a gamble. Um,
My dog can't go to college, so that's my excuse.
so the Dolphins won 16-13 in overtime. Unfortunately, the Commanders started with the ball in OT, and Marcus Mariota threw an interception.
You know
And
what?
then
That was his
the Dolphins
sacrifice
went down, kicked it, and
for
won it.
his younger brother. He was like, you know what? Tua
Who?
deserves a win. Marcus, that's for his younger Samoan brother on the other side of the field. He was like, hey, you know what? I think this Tua deserves his win more than I do. I think he
Bro.
needs to win more than I do.
Neither of them played great. Marcus had a 46 QBR. Tua had a 28 QBR. But Tua, after they won that game, was walking around like, yeah, I did that. I was like, dog.
Hey
uh,
man, you gotta sometimes you need something to celebrate, you know what I mean? And
sure. Like the
yeah,
Chargers in this time, anything would be a celebration. Antonio Gates not being arrested, celebration.
there
Just
you go.
yeah,
There you,
anything because they lost by 29 points.
there you go.
To the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Chargers, this is the fourth time the Chargers have traveled to the East Coast this year. They lost to the Giants in New York. They almost lost to the Tennessee Titans after going down 14-0 in the first quarter. They had like a 1 point game where they won versus the Dolphins. And that was a struggle the entire time. And then the fourth East Coast game for the Chargers, smoked from the get go. It was bad. Justin Herbert, 81 passing yards. He averages 244. The Chargers averaged 22 first downs. They had 8 in Jacksonville on Sunday. The Chargers are also pretty good, almost 50%. They have 46% on their third down conversions. They were 3 of 12 and only had 8 first downs the entire game. The Jacksonville Jaguars controlled the clock. These fools was running the ball. Travis Etienne was doing his thing. Bashal Tootin looked even better. What is this? Whoa, 37, almost okay, 38-minute time of possession for the Jacksonville Jaguars, which left only 22 minutes for the Chargers. And the Chargers, even when they did have the ball, weren't making conversions, weren't picking up yards. Like we said, Justin Herbert only had 81 passing yards. He also led the team with 20 rushing yards. Oh, 21 rushing yards. Okay. So that was the kind of day offensively it was. The Chargers started new left tackle Trevor Penning, who they traded for at the trade deadline. He was
Here,
benched. He was
like,
taken out by the
wait,
fourth quarter, back in and out. So they're still trying to figure all that out.
but
Um,
you had a high first round pick playing that position until he got benched. So I mean, sometimes you have to have something to look forward to.
that's the thing. It's like, okay, maybe next time he'll be better. The Chargers do have a bye week before they go play the Raiders in LA. So there is some time, but for the next 2 weeks, we're just basically, oh, we got smacked by the Jaguars, which I will say, I predicted correctly in our preseason show that we were going to lose in week 11 to the Jaguars before going on by. And I just want my credit for that. I said it was going
Because
to
you
be
don't
a
believe in your team.
no. I think I had them like 8-0 before this before losing to the Jaguars.
Hey, I think I had my team like 12-1 at one time, so don't even worry about it.
But just going to the East Coast, which I don't want to believe is an actual thing that you can't get ready for, like resetting your body clock. Your body's like, oh, it's only 10 a.m. I was like, hey, wake up. We got to do this.
Nah, it doesn't work like that. It's just
It doesn't work. So what? You got to get there earlier. I don't know. A lot of people on the Chargers like podcast realm are talking about, yo, Jim Harbaugh, this is your job to get people
ready, acclimated.
playing right away, starting fast, and playing at the level that you expect them to. So for them not to just totally fall
I
off,
feel
let
that.
Jacksonville score a touchdown every quarter, two in the fourth quarter is like the coach's fault, and more so the coordinators for both of the terrible kind of performances by the team.
Performances, yeah.
Travis Etienne, two touchdowns. Bashal Tootin got hurt, but he got a touchdown. The defensive line for the Chargers is nameless and not great. The linebackers, rangy, but kind of undersized. You had a lot of dime. You had a lot of Elijah Molden kind of as the guy next to Deion Henley, but both of
Yeah,
those guys
and
seem more cover than,
yeah, because
um,
even Henley was a safety in college.
yeah. So one thing that I want to say Chargers Threads pointed out was that in the game last week against the Steelers, the Chargers used a lot of extra tight ends. They used the fullback to stay in there and block so that the offensive tackles weren't alone. Whereas this week, it looks like they tried to make Bobby Hart, Trevor Penning. Well, I don't think Bobby Hart played. They tried to make Trey Pipkins and Trevor Penning block these guys by themselves. And they're big names. Trayvon Walker was the first overall pick. Josh Hines Allen for the Jaguars is now their career sacks lead or their franchise sacks leader. And it did not work out for the Chargers trying to block them one on one with backup offensive tackles. No conversions, Trevor Penning. Yeah, frustration versus relief. Oh, okay. So one thing I noticed is that when the Jaguars came out from halftime to start the second half, it was 14-6, right? And the Chargers needed to stop and then to kind of score to get the game back evened up. The Jaguars drove down, I think, 7.5 minutes on 9-10 plays. They scored a touchdown. But what really stood out to me is when they scored that touchdown, they were all in the end zone, kind of like smiling and joking a little bit, right? They looked comfortable. They looked happy. When I think they had a really bad loss last week. So this being a get right game for the Jacksonville Jaguars in their home stadium, I can understand where you're feeling some of that relief, right? Like, oh, it's not going to be bad this week. We're up 21-6.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm like 21-6 isn't like that's still a two-score game. You shouldn't look this
Comfortable.
yeah, you shouldn't look this comfortable, but
Yeah.
they did. And I also noticed the exact opposite for the Chargers, where like Elijah Molden has someone catch a pass in front of him and he's looking over at his teammate like, yo, what the F, man? This is your there's like frustration where there was that confidence when the Chargers were smacking everything out of the hands of the Steelers receivers or taking Aaron Rodgers down for a sack. They looked like this confident, and it feels kind of like a fair weather. I don't know how much of it is just like when you're on and you're feeling it, but I definitely noticed the opposite of that when the Chargers are doing badly and it starts to be like, oh, a spiral. It looks like people are starting to fight on the team amongst each other. They're starting to blame other people. I wanted to ask you, as a coach, if you're having kind of these spirals, whether it's in a game or in the season, where you start to see the body language of your team and they're kind of like blaming each other. What do you, as a coach, try to do with that? Do you try to spin it? Do you try to like lean into it a little bit to break it, or what would you do if your team looked kind of off like that?
You just pick your favorite player, and whoever he's arguing with, you blame the other guy. No, you gotta have your team reset, man, right away, because that frustration can settle in real quick, man. Especially after they were coming off of a pretty big win against like Pittsburgh, like they just they looked really good against Pittsburgh, and then like in that situation, um, it might not seem for us watching like that's a lot, like 21-6, like you said, just two scores, but on a football field, you know what I mean? 21-6 can mean like a lot of things are going wrong for your team, and for some guys, it looks like, bro, I am trying my best out here. Everything's still going wrong. And then you look around and it's like on that play, like you said, maybe my man let his man go. So now it's even more like magnified when people are like, your faults aren't going to be magnified. Everybody else's faults are going to be magnified. Because to you, it's just like, bro, I'm working my ass off out here, and this and that.
Mm,
So you really got to just get your guys back together and let them know, man, 21-6, they have to buy into like what you're saying. So you gotta convince them that 21-6, depending on the time of the game, like you said, it's not that far of a deficit. You really
yeah.
gotta just you gotta, as people say, not you gotta lock back in, man. Lock
Mm,
back in and really play the rest of this game out. Because if you're already frustrated now, the game, and if it's early, the game's gonna just become even longer, and things are
yeah.
gonna be, yeah. So I know in sports a lot of people use the analogy of quicksand. So like if you get into quicksand, you start sinking, and your initial reaction is to try to struggle. But in quicksand, the more you struggle to fix it, the faster and deeper you start to sink, right? Same thing in sports. You go out there, throw an interception. What are you gonna do the next time come around? You do your best to like get the ball downfield. So now you're starting to like, take a little bit more chances, another interception.
Mm,
Now you're out there and now you're forcing it because you're like, no, I gotta do this. I gotta bring my team back.
yeah, I got to
And so
catch
now,
up.
right, I gotta catch up. So now everything you're just gonna try your best to win that game on your own. But you're just sinking farther and farther. Before you know it, you're down 21-6. But now you're just like in the back of your head, you're already in your own head. So
Yeah.
yeah, you got to do your best to take your player out of that headspace, man, and just remember, uh, try to help them remember that you guys just played a really great game the last week. You can still do those things. The game's not that far gone, so settle back in and start just being disciplined. Some guys can do it, some guys can't, but as a coach, like some of the Chargers were saying, and like a lot of the people, when you look at the Raiders as well, guys just gotta lock in. You can see it on the field sometimes. You can see the guys who just look like they're not there anymore, like they're really just out there just playing, but super frustrated. And if you have to, sometimes you got to sit those guys. Get somebody in there who's
Oh, yeah. Okay.
get somebody
Yeah.
who will play, and then maybe that'll light a fire under the dude that you put on the bench who might be a little bit more talented, but right now, if you're in that headspace, you're not helping the team no matter how talented you are.
You would bench like a good player on your team to try to
For
like
just
reset
so he
them.
can reset, so he can like not even because you're like you're getting benched because like you're not doing your job, you suck. No, you're getting benched because you're not doing your job because you're not in the headspace. So take a break, get into
Mm,
that headspace, do what you got to do to get back to playing the way you're supposed to be playing. You know. And meantime, the guy who's out there wanting to play, he's gonna go out there and play his hardest, and he's probably gonna make plays because that's what he wants to do. That's where his mind is at. So yeah,
uh, Yeah, the Chargers coming out, of halftime down 8, needed to make a stop, get a touchdown to tie it up. Instead, they give up a touchdown. And then I think it was a 3-and-out. And then they give up another long drive touchdown. So now you go from down 8 to down 15 to down 22. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. So we're going to need some magic in the fourth quarter. And when that doesn't happen, they let another touchdown go. It's like, oh, okay, this game is over, but I'm going to watch to the end because I'm a masochist and I love the Chargers. And this is part of it. This is forget beating the Steelers like they're nothing. I want to talk about how we got our asses whooped. No. Because this is really what it is being a Chargers fan. Anyway, before we go to this Run It challenge that is about to hit the States, what is your take on the state of the Raiders?
Folks, I'm not like Lance. I'm not gonna torture myself with numbers, even though I went and looked at the numbers. It's not good. Uh, you want to talk about um, yards after contact? Genti might be like the just all-time leader in his rookie season of yards after contact.
Are you serious?
No, it's
Oh,
probably, but
I'll
close
look it
to
up
it.
right now.
I mean, even Mostert, you can't just it's not, and that's how you know it's not just the running backs that are not being able to run the ball because even Mostert's having a hard time getting out of that backfield. It's like the ball snapped, and as soon as they get the ball, they're taking 2 steps into wherever, whatever gap they're supposed to be hitting, and they already have contact. And so when the D line's making penetration like that, it's going to be a tough day all around for anybody behind that O line. And
Yeah.
that's what's been happening in the past couple of games. We can fault Gino all we want for throwing the interceptions. Yes, he's got to make better decisions. Of course, he's the quarterback. And he is partly to blame because sometimes it's like, bro, if you're falling down, don't throw the ball. You know, don't throw it over your backside shoulder because you saw somebody in that vicinity. Or don't try to fit it between like two defenders just because it's Brock Bowers. Those things are his fault. But also, when he's running for his life or doesn't even have the chance to run for his life, that's going to be a big problem. You can blame the injuries all you want with Colton Miller being out. Now they'll be without JPP probably for the rest of the season. You can blame stuff like that on the O line, but or injuries, but at the same time, just those guys play professional sports for a reason. Coaches coach professional sports for a reason. You guys got to figure it out. That's your job. Both players and coaches alike. You got to go out there, your practices, wherever, scheme wise. If you got to change your scheme, Chip Kelly, change your scheme. Do something. O line coaches, you fired the special teams coach because you guys like had a punt block. Or fire an O line coach, Pete Carroll's son. Uh, you know, do something. Do something to help the team. You guys aren't going to go to the playoffs. So now it's time maybe to develop some guys, but at least
Mhm.
while you're developing, coach them.
What do you want to see over the last 8 weeks of the season for the Raiders?
Undefeated. That's what I'm
10-8.
10-8. That's what I'm
We make the playoffs or
now. I,
nine
I
and
want to
eight.
see I want to see Genty really go off like because he's and people are gonna say, oh, he's shown flashes, but he hasn't shown enough. Yes, but the flashes are when the O line's blocking. And it's
Well,
not
yeah,
totally on the O line. Everybody's got to work in unison. But that is a big, big proponent of running the ball. And sometimes they don't even look like they're pushing. Oh my gosh, their center on one play, just I think 2 plays in a row, knocked to his ass. I'm like, bro,
wow, back to back. That's
come
not
on,
good.
bro, help your team. Uh, I'd like to see, yeah, like Genty play a game without having to fight for 2 yards before he even reaches the line of scrimmage. I'd like
But
to
that's
see,
that would need a good. That would need better O line
yeah, like I
players.
said, man. So Like in the O line, there's schemes. So people don't think like O line, like you have your run block
Mhm.
schemes. And you can block for like zone blocking, footwork matters, all of that thing, man. It's all of those things. So that's where coaches come along. You got to be teaching these guys things and switch it up, man. Find out
Yeah,
what best
yeah,
suits your player, your personnel.
yes.
You know,
If
uh,
if the players aren't able to like
do
get it
work in our
done,
schema.
you got to
Yeah,
figure out how to scheme it up to put people in better positions or
that
and
is
take
your job.
advantage of mismatches.
Amen. That is your job. And I'm not saying they're not doing it, but find something, man. Like you can sit there and talk about, man, we'd be so good if we had this guy on the line. We'd be so good if we had this guy at quarterback, or but you don't. You have the guys that you have there. You're not going to get anything significant out of trade because the trade deadline's over, and you know none of you guys have the relationship that Tom Brady has with the devil. So you can't sign the contract right now. Uh, you know, just look, play for something, guys. At the end of the season, that's all I want to see. I want to see them play harder. Like,
Yeah,
I want to see all of them give at least Max Crosby effort. If you don't have Max Crosby talent, go out there and play with Max Crosby effort. How about that?
that's I like that actually.
Yeah.
Uh, maybe the Las Vegas Raiders will be able to.
Beat the Chargers, I'd be happy all season long. I don't care anymore. If we beat the Chargers, that's my Super Bowl, and I'm good for the rest of the season.
Well, that's in 2 weeks, right?
Yes.
The Raiders take the 4 hour drive west to Hollywood, and then we'll play at the Chargers. They could today, the day that we're recording this, the Run It Challenge, the USA West Coast Trials have started in Las Vegas. Uh, the Run It Challenge was like a viral trend of people doing the Oklahoma drill. One guy runs with a football. I think it was a rugby ball, mostly in the Pacific Islands.
Yeah.
And another guy runs from the opposite side. They meet in the middle, trying to see who's going to win the collision, who's going to be faster, stronger. It turned into like people hyping it up like on the bleachers to people watching it in stadiums to them making it
A
like a
whole
league.
tournament or
The
league. Yeah.
same, yeah, the same way that Power Slap became like a UFC kind of presentation is the same way the Run It Challenge or the Run It League is starting to become, a viral, watchable uh show. Aside from the injury risks and, just the general, possibility and likelihood of people getting hurt, not only to their bodies, shoulders, backs, legs, knees, whatever, but also to your brain slamming into somebody else like that. There's no denying that people are wanting to watch this, right? Because there's a freaking league. I'm going to read off the Salt Lake City on November 21st, Santa Monica November 23rd, Irvine November 26th, November 29th, Seattle, December 2nd, Austin. Damn, okay. So they do like the West Coast and then they go they go to freaking Texas in December. Um
So, folks, for your geographical lesson, what do all these cities have in common?
what do these cities have in common? Are they islander?
Yes, yes, populated largely by a lot of Polynesians, Pacifica people. So,
Is Austin's like that?
yeah, oh man, Texas, there's
Yeah.
a few places in Texas. One because the military, so a lot of people go out there for the military, and then they kind of just end up staying in Texas because they like
I
Texas.
didn't know that.
But also because rents, like,
Oh yeah, yeah, Texas. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, dirt cheap.
Makes sense. Makes sense. This whole
And
thing makes
yeah,
sense. It's
yeah.
like use your body to support your family,
Hey,
however you got to do it, whether it's the military, football, run it, do
you
what you
know
got to
what's
do.
what's scary is like so a lot of the guys who actually play football here, like rugby, like uh maybe not professionally, but like competitively, probably won't be joined. Because why? Because they're still able to play the sport that they're playing.
Mhm.
My fear is that we're going to see a lot of guys who haven't been playing anything significantly or training in like
Yeah.
the past few months and probably just heard about this and now I'm like, you know what? Let me go.
Oh no.
Yeah, let me go and try this. I mean, I used to be good at football. I used to be able to take a hit. I used to be able to give hits, and so
Huh.
I think that's where maybe a lot of the injuries might come from. Of course, I'm
Sure,
saying this,
sure.
but I'm super intrigued. You might see me and Mike on a Saturday soon, the 29th, maybe at the uh the regionals here in
You're not gonna
yeah.
be in there, no.
Not to support, just by curiosity.
Just to
Uh
see,
just to
bro.
see.
Okay, fine. Wear a camera. Just
But
go.
right. But yeah, I mean, of course the injuries are a worry, and then you've already had a death. I don't know. I don't know the details if it's directly from what happened, but he was a participant. He was also, I think he was only like,
It was like a high schooler
yeah,
doing not like at a tournament or anything. They were just
yeah,
playing this in
just
their yards.
playing. So,
That's
I
cool.
mean, it's not directly. I'm pretty sure they have rules and regulations at the tournaments or the league. So
Uh,
that's great. I know they'll have. It's a big thing, so it's not like they're just out there like bush league, like backyard wrestling type leagues. Uh,
it's yeah, it's definitely grown into like
for
much
sure.
bigger than I thought. I didn't think they'd be able to do like a West Coast trial run. Uh, I don't really like it, but if you're trying to win the Run It Trials or a Run It Challenge, right? Just like as someone who has spent time on this earth, someone who's played sports, someone who understands physics, what is your strategy on either
Uh,
side of the ball to win a Run It tournament?
You're trying to dig your shoulder into the other dude's chest, no matter if you're running it or if you're tackling him. That's what you're trying. You're trying to
Ouch.
put if and so in football, that's the way they teach you to tackle now too. Is your face mask right into someone's chest, wrap, pick up, and fall. So
Mm-hmm.
kind of the same thing. I don't know if they. I've never seen anybody try to wrap anybody. I think they're really just trying to run somebody. But like, I think you have to really be the first person to initiate that the contact. So you're
Don't
really
wait for it. Yep, yep.
yeah, no, you're trying to, and so a lot of people when I watch some of the stuff too is like some of the guys stop and wait for the runner and try to like hit him. No, anytime your feet move, you lost. You've lost already. If your feet
Mm.
stop moving, you can all just step to the side because you're about to either get run over or you're about to get tackled, one or the other. Momentum, momentum.
Uh, freshman summer, going from eighth grade to freshman year at Tafuna High School, and getting ready to play football, and Samoa was like molding me to be an outside linebacker, and just like talking about, bro, when you go tackle somebody, don't meet them, where they are. Run through them. Run. You going through them. If you go through them, they can't go through you.
Man,
Just like basically yeah, just freaking don't even stop. Just keep driving through the person. But if you're doing a run it challenge and you're running and expecting contact, or even in football, if you're waiting and like anticipating contact, you're gonna get run over, bro. You're like,
that's what I'm saying. And
wait
so,
for it. You need to take it, like you said, take it to them. Don't
yeah,
wait for them to bring it to you.
and it's not like, in a sport where you're gonna brace for the impact. Like,
Hmm.
as a wide receiver,
Wide receiver, yeah.
you catch the ball, you're gonna brace for you're gonna kind of stiffen up, like get low and try to run through the. Actually, no. If you're a running back, perfect. Because if you're running through it, you don't want to stop. You don't want to lose momentum. You're trying to run
Hmm.
through all the tackles and the arm tackles. So same thing. And then just like Samuel said, you're a linebacker. You're just trying to run through somebody. Just
Yeah.
yeah. So uh, if you're in the run it challenge, don't stop, guys. I've seen a lot of the clips where the first dude to kind of slow down and brace for the impact or try to like launch, that's the
No.
dude that's usually he usually ends up losing the match. So
I'm
uh,
like, but does running through somebody make it more likely that your body's going to get hurt, or that
no,
you're
no,
going
because
to
you're still
deliver that
yeah,
force to the opponent?
you're
Okay.
delivering the
Yeah.
force. So again, guys, you'll see it. You'll see like when they have that slow motion. You'll see the body impact some of these guys take. The guys that are taking most of the force, you'll see the force on. You'll see them, their bodies kind of
Yeah,
just like an accordion almost, or like you know how you crush a plastic cup, like that. Sorry,
damn.
that's pretty crude, but that's kind of what your body's gonna go through uh when you're doing something like that anytime, you know. And that's
Uh,
what they taught me at Harvard medicine. So
at Harvard. Yeah, I'm interested to see how much money people can make off of that. Get it. Get it while you can.
hey man, I'm interested to see how far it goes because the slap league, man, that's that's pretty popular. Like people watch. I mean, it might not be able to like you might be able to retire from your regular job right away, but yeah,
Right.
they're making decent prize money. You know what I mean?
What is that? What is like prize money? I didn't know the power slap had like it was
Prize
popping
money.
off like that. But I
No,
guess they I feel like I've seen more, but I just assumed it was because there were like Islander slappers. What do you call them?
no. So yeah, for sure, for us, that's why we
Slappers?
see those. But like some of the dudes that they face off against are just bunch of white dudes, black dudes. You know what I mean? Like
Well, I
it,
didn't think that I was seeing more power slap videos because the sport was like taking off. I thought it
oh,
was
you
like, oh,
guys,
there's a bunch of Islanders. Oh,
I feel like
island
hey,
cities putting these guys on, or
if you're gonna have a whole bunch of bouncers eat food after a night of bouncing,
yeah,
I think it's there's enough of the bouncers to be like, hey, let's make this league big.
that's what I'm saying. You could get a power slap, unofficial right after the doors close.
I've seen it.
They're shutting down the club.
I've seen it. Noke, where you at?
Schmack. All right, yeah, we'll see how the Run It trials go. This is the West Coast 2025 trials
Hey
for.
man, if you're a photographer and you have the time and you feel like putting some money into it, go to these events, shoot these shots, start making trading cards.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yep.
okay. Getting
What?
those collisions even to like
Man,
would be great to post for whoever wins. They'd be like,
steal
yeah, and
those
then I ran him
shots.
over. Look at this photo.
There you go. Steal those
Photos are
shots
dope.
and get into the market before anybody does. I mean, if Call of Duty players can have cards that were selling for good money at one time, so can people in the Reddit league.
I want to talk about like the possibility of a Pokemon card crash, but I don't want to be that guy. I just want to be
There's
prepared.
there's also a possibility, but with the way it's moving, it's not going to be everything. Every prices are the prices fluctuate, but as far as the market, I don't think it's going to crash anytime soon, man. It's just
Oof.
the
Yeah.
demand for it, the way people are, and there's always going to be that collector, that realm, the collector realm where everybody look. I was just talking to someone at GameStop, um, and they were like, someone needed to pay for something, and all they needed to left on their payment was a penny. And then the guy was like, well, they're doing away with pennies, so that's going to be interesting. And I said, well, hey, be prepared because now people are going to start collecting pennies. And everybody in the store was like, no, you're right, because you know why? People will collect anything that they think is going to be valuable at one time, sometime soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or even if it's just sentimental value, people are going to do that. So, like for Pokemon cards, man, the nostalgia, and if you see a lot of people like the actual collectors and vendors at some of the shows, man, some of these guys like are like older because they're like OG collectors. They've been collecting for a while and they've stayed steady, man, through when the market when packs were still on the when packs used to sit, these boxes used to sit like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. They used to sit on shelves and people weren't really buying it. They were still high in range, like cards, the actual cards itself, like the chase cards. But as far as product, no, they weren't like the, that was the crash. Like people weren't buying these products now. But now you see things like uh this is called a UPC. Oh my gosh. Uh at pre-release, it's a pretty big box. At
It's a huge
pre-release,
box.
yeah, at pre-release before it even came out to shelves and kind of just like vendors or like specialty buyers or people who I don't know, people who were able to have like I think maybe special accounts on certain websites and with Pokemon when they got their pre-release, like maybe I want to say at least some a month, some 2 weeks before the actual release. That box was at $900. It its MSRP is only 120, but because
Yeah, that seems like
so yeah,
too
so
much. It seems to me it's like that's a ridiculous. That's like some bubble stuff where
for
it's
sure,
it's to the point where it's and also I feel like just me jumping into it now as like I'm just putting it away to invest in. I'm not trying to really rip packs and be
right,
and
right,
build
right,
up
right,
my collection. I'm just trying to save away something that I can kind of acquire for my family and stuff like
for
that.
sure,
So to me,
for sure,
it's like, oh, I'm the type of investor that hops on later, right? When the everyone's like, oh yeah, like a year or two later after stuff like that should happen. To the point where I think my algorithm also is like on the lookout for stuff, trying to be cautious for if for some reason everyone's like, oh, I mean, and I've seen articles where it connects like people's money to their ability to have this like luxury uh
hobby,
hobby, right? Yeah, thank you. Something that they can spend money on because they have money. Whereas if, for whatever reason, the market in America starts to be one where people don't have a lot of money to spend, then the prices go down. I don't care, about trying to strike it rich or anything. I just don't want some beanie baby stuff, right? Where it's like, oh, this collection could have been $2,000, but now it's, you know, just give it
for
to
sure,
your nephews or something for
right.
free or something like that. So that's what I'm trying to guard against, both it happening and the thought process. Because I feel like just talking about it makes it like a bummer and trying not to. I'm not trying to put that out there. I just want to be prepared for it. This shit is like, yeah, I don't know.
Man. So the
But
thing
also try
is,
to figure out how to spread that around, like not just into
right,
cards, but into stocks, into freaking
diversify.
crypto, into any sort of investment, some sort of assets. That's the stuff where it's like I think we can figure out ways to diversify, spread it out, and also
Definitely.
figure things out where we can, be in a better position next year, the years after, anything. We got it, bro. We're going to the Super Bowl in like 3 months,
For sure.
2.5 months. That's gonna be dope. I feel like that's gonna be a
That's
nice
gonna be
place to
definitely
connect with people and kind of meet new people. Also, as far as like sports, Islanders, podcasters, media stuff like that. So exciting.
super exciting. Super exciting. And then my thing is like the risk is always like for stuff like this that it's gonna crash. But if you look at the market,
Mm-hmm.
um, Japan's market is so big as well. Japan does Pokemon. Uh, China does their own as well. They have exclusive cards, big in China, big in Korea. Korea has their own as
Worldwide,
well.
yeah.
So yeah, so it's
Mm.
worldwide, and these guys produce their own sets. So like that kind of just tells you like where Pokemon is at this point. If those guys are still producing, and so longevity wise, like those, even at the crash, like those boxes were still like base set first edition boxes are still at like $30,000 even during the crash. You know what I mean? And you could still
$30,000 for a box
for a pack of 36. And I don't even know if there was 36
is like a
normal
special
boxes.
old.
So, so the first edition base is like the original set of Pokemon, the first ever
Oh
English
yeah,
set
yeah.
they came out
From
with.
like
Um,
30 years
so things
ago,
like that.
40 years ago.
30, yeah, I think maybe like 90, I want to say maybe 94, 93, something like that. Um, so yeah,
Damn.
I mean, it's yeah, exactly. Uh, yeah, I you can watch streamers, bro. Like, because they've turned their
I
business
have
into,
been watching.
man.
I've been
I'm
watching
saying,
some of these
you
card
seen it.
players.
You seen these guys that literally their business is to go out and people they've turned it into like for them like a really lucrative business. They don't really do anything, but they have a company where there's a couple of them. I'm pretty sure they put their money in together, went in on some Pokemon, but now they are so big that what they do is they create this content where they go out and they do like challenges or they just like reviews and or versus challenges with different sets, but they're able to go out and buy $30,000 boxes and open them. You know, like who's sponsoring it? Someone's sponsoring them. And so like you're worried about the I
Ooh.
right, I get it. I get your worry about like the that's significant worry. You've got responsibilities to worry about. You got Norris cars and stuff like that. But which is also why like picking up like opening a pack or two is so that you're kind of like as much as you're saving, you'll still have like a feeling of like, well, this is pretty cool. So yeah, I'm not like the best, like the biggest collector, but at least like sometimes I'm gonna pick a card, like I'm gonna like it. That's mine. And then like, yeah, man, collecting is if you're gonna store, uh, try to always get at the best price. Like I said,
Sure.
if you're at a machine and you're able to get like boxes from a machine, best prices to get it from. I know you'll always hear the horror stories about going to machines and they never hit, but like you just have to try all the machines. Like literally, like I showed you the video, broke my heart. So now scammers also are messing with machines. They're trying to hack these machines. Some of these guys also are pretty smart. Some of these guys break their card off in the machine, and so it
What?
looks like it's broken. But now they're the only ones with their with the with the pin number to their card. So when they go, they're the only ones that can buy it because it's their card in there. You can't put another card in there. You try to
No.
yeah, so you got guys like that. That sucks. But I mean, I know Seth told you to go ahead and rip those packs because no one won't buy those packs from you. But look, if you're trying to store them for like more than 5 years, you see, there are literally packs that cost like $7,000 to $5,000, single packs that cost that much.
Because
But
they're just
even
so rare to find
right,
now
but
after a
but
certain amount of time.
yeah, exactly, because they're not in print anymore. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So like the fact that they had like someone's gonna open that and you're never gonna be able to get another of those anywhere again, maybe, or how hard it is, you know. Uh, shoot, what is um Paladin Fates, which is a modern series right now. Those packs are already they're at $18 per pack. Um, is it Prismatic? I think Prismatic is already at $18 a pack. And then you have stuff like uh the Jungle set. I think those are at like 600, $500 a pack. It'll range. But those things, even though we didn't see it like during like the fall or the drop of the hobby, those prices probably didn't change. Those stayed those prices. You know, those the modern sets, yes, the modern sets are gonna drop, of course, during like that fall, but like the older stuff, they're not gonna change. Prices aren't gonna change. You're not gonna go into a shop when the prices fall for all the modern stuff, and like shop owners are gonna be like, "Wow, yeah, no, that we dropped that like $400 now. You can pick it up for like no, that's not gonna happen." So if you are trying to hold on to these stuff for like for a good amount of time, uh, longevity. If you're thinking about longevity, it's gonna last because for collectors, when it gets really expensive or valuable, is when there's none left, and you have like one of the only remaining boxes left in your like region to open. That's when your collection really becomes like valuable.
Yeah, I don't mind it going up a little or a lot. I just don't want it to go down. But yeah, we're gonna see. Freaking, hopefully things keep going up, keep
For
going,
sure,
keep rocking, and we can also
for
grow
sure.
that. But I guess we'd have to rip a couple packs open to kind of
You got to, man. I'm telling you, like even just like it's like, look, it's cool, man. I'm telling you. So I'm like, I do comics right now. I used to play comics when I was younger, so that's old for me. Pokemon is something recent that I picked up within like the last 6 months maybe. But I always did sports cards, so I still do basketball cards as you guys see on here. Uh, One Piece is something I watch, so I do One Piece cards too. I watch Naruto, pick up Naruto, and then I just showed you a Dragon Ball card that I picked up, because they just dropped a new set. Naruto just dropped their first English set. So if you guys go out and you guys see a pack of Caillou Naruto cards, Heaven Scroll, pick those up because that's the first edition English they've ever made in Caillou Naruto cards. So, your first edition, that's crazy. Like unheard of, like in a few years.
Historical, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then when you collect, you get to pick up cool ass cards like this, man. Hauntar. So, the art's super dope on that. That's super cool, man. Like I don't care how old you are, you get to enjoy stuff like that, and then like there's just a lot of stuff like, and then like the pull rates on stuff like this, and when you pull them, like you know what I mean? It's like super cool, man. Like yeah, you get the dopamine when you pull stuff like this is totally dope. And like so tonight I was bored and I have a whole bunch of basketball cards, bulk cards, and then like I hate the Lakers, so like I got a pack for you and Noah, each so a whole bunch of Lakers, Dorian Finney-Smith with a little shiny and then another insert. So depending on you and Noah, wow, whatever one, and then the rest of the cards in here are like all the Lakers dudes I have in here, like Connect and Reeves and stuff like that. So I'll send those out to you guys as soon as I can. And
Nice.
now that
Thank
I'm
you.
older, like
It's got
stuff like
carded
this,
up. Okay, okay, okay.
hey man, yeah. Now that I'm older, like I don't be going out to the club no more like everybody else, man. I mean, if we were all together and we all decided to go out, of course I'm going out. But like as far as now, man, like this shit's fun to me. It's cool, and
Yeah.
the people you meet, again, the community itself is super cool, man. Like there's a bunch of really amazing human beings that you meet. Um, like I shouted out Avery. He's here in Seattle. I hope I can make my way out to visit the kid soon. Dealing with stage 4 cancer. He hasn't been doing so well, but the updates are he's doing pretty cool. You get to meet guys like that and everybody who donates to him, like dudes that you've never like would never seen think to seem like they would uh just support a kid like that. They're all supporting him, so that's pretty cool. Love it. The community itself is a big reason why I collect. Yeah, man. It honestly, to be cliche and be like corny, but kind of restored my faith in humanity, meeting some of these people in the
Nice.
community. Yeah. So
All
pretty
right.
dope, man. Pretty dope
Uh all right, yeah, more of that more of it next week.
for sure.
Any shout outs before we go?
Yeah, man. Shout out to one of the dopest musicians I know, Eddie Silmon. One, because he got married like I think maybe 2 months ago, but also he had some health issues and he recently had surgery on one of his eyes because all of a sudden, he lost vision in it. So thankful to say the updates from him are that he's able to see now, probably even more
Oh,
clear than
nice.
before
Hey.
out of his right eye. He goes by at Scissorhands on SIZZAHANDS on Instagram. Uh, he travels with Fia, the artist, or the artist Fia, when he travels. Big on the Polynesian music scene. Super dope guy too, man. So shout out to Eddie, man. That's great news to hear. Love to hear it, man. Love to hear it. And then shout out to our guy, man. Friend of the show, friend of Samoa, friend of Tafuna High School. Uh, Sorry guys. I know you guys lost your senior game against someone. Wasn't gonna mention it, but hey. But shout out to Frankie, man, for a great game he played. And then the interaction that he had with Tua after the game. That's super great to see. I think things like that always put us as a people and a culture in the spotlight, in the right spotlight. You know what I mean? Like Yeah, because a lot of there's I guess a lot of stigma, like I don't know, with the culture these days. So you know,
What do you mean stigma
just Polynesian in general. I mean, you know,
against Polynesian culture?
yeah, man, yeah,
What are you saying?
that they eat all the food when they go places. Jokes, 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 jokes. Jokes. No, just like a lot of the like if you there's a lot of the shootings out here, of course, you'll see a Polynesian name or fights and stuff like that, and everybody just kind of associates that with the culture. It's like, oh, that's the kind of people there. Like, no, there's that kind of people in every culture. It's not
No.
just Polynesian culture. But to show that, like, and then anytime somebody works with someone, and the first thing is, oh, we got Samoan here, man. Do all the heavy lifting. No, I know how to use a computer too. So, but shout out to Eddie, shout out to Frankie, man, and man, shout out to my twin nieces, man. Uh, my younger sister, her daughter gave birth to two beautiful twins, man, Lini and Mimi. But a lot of my family right now are calling them Fetu and Masina, the stars and the moon. And then my other sister, who's probably like my twin, her daughter, my niece Tiana, had her baby, which connects, as my older sister said, the November babies. So Fetu, Masina, and La stars, the sun and the moon for November. So
Wow.
family's been blessed this month with those three babies. Shout out to my sisters and shout out to my nieces, and then shout out to the great grandnieces or the grandnieces for me.
There you
Exciting,
go.
man, exciting. I got to
More
see them
life, more
yesterday.
family.
More life, more family, man. So yeah, man, yeah, man.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, shout out to Mikey, the homie Mikey, his wife Sarai. They just had another baby. Yeah,
Hey,
another girl. So we're gonna have even more niece friends to
hell yeah.
run around with. That's gonna be dope.
I mean, maybe not much running, but
I mean,
not for
eventually,
us.
freaking these kids they're going. Shout out to Levasa Island Apparel. Shout out to Brother Uri, Via
Always,
Dolorosa,
always.
everything that he's doing down there in Modesto, California. Check him out, Le_Vasa. And shout out to the listeners. Thank you guys for tapping in every week, listening, whether it's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or watching here on the Polytickin Network on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe, follow, punch all those ratings, all those thumbs up, all those likes
Man,
in whatever app that
send in your
you're
questions.
watching this. Yeah, send in your questions. Let us know. Leave a comment here. Let us know who has a better shirt, or better team, better questions, better, give us your hot takes, please.
Please. We like,
Yes.
yeah, interact, interact.
Yeah. So shout out to everybody. Also, you can DM us on Instagram, or you can email us at ballinesian@gmail.com. That's our show for this week. Appreciate you guys for tapping in. Shout out to Coach Forrest for being here. And yeah, shout out to the Pod Boys of the network. Sign up for the Patreon. Talking about whatever we're talking about every week. You get a extra episode exclusive to the Patreon. You also get that exclusive Patreon community chat
Do
where,
that.
bro, he dropped a photo of him and Aradna,
Who's that?
Seth and Aradna. You
Oh,
say, uh,
yeah, man.
but yeah, that's a Patreon exclusive. You gotta,
Look, and that's
you gotta
who
be part of the
everybody went to
community.
see. Yeah, at Holo Holo. I think it was in San Diego. That's where I mean, yeah, of course, all the
Yeah,
artists, but the one artist, because I guess that was her first, or was it? I think Utah. One of
probably
those.
a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, her first time back in a long time, and
So,
just it was pretty dope. So, Seth, you show off.
yeah.
Also, stop leaving comments in the comment section to have other listeners defend Seth. He was talking about it on the show. He was like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, my heart dropped, man," because I was like, "What? There's bad comments? Stop leaving bad comments to Seth, man."
No, that's the realest rapper. Leave all the comments. He's gonna use it to make another song.
He's gonna make a
Uh,
freestyle.
off the top, shout out to everybody. Thank you for listening. And we'll see you guys next week. Stay hydrated, stay blessed, stay balling. Love and light. Peace.
Go Raiders.